we took care of my mom. My uncle stood in the gap for my grandmother.
Okay.
And he actually became her real caregiver in terms of, he started getting a check. Like even now, he's still a caregiver with what he learned from the help of my grandmother.
Wow.
So he's still a caregiver for older people.
So he turned it into a career path.
He turned it into a career path because he had no job.
Well, come on now. We all got that.
He stayed at home so long.
How long was it?
That people start commending him for being there.
Oh.
Like, hey man, you doing so good with mom. I'm like, that nigga never left.
Parenting Up, Caregiving Adventures with comedian Jay Smiles is the intense journey of unexpectedly being fully responsible for my mama. For over a decade, I've been chipping away at the unknown, advocating for her, and pushing Alzheimer's awareness on anyone and anything with a heartbeat. Spoiler alert, I started comedy because this shit is so heavy, so be ready for the jokes. Caregiver newbies, OGs, and village members just willing to prop up a caregiver, you are in the right place.
Hi, this is Zeddy. I hope you enjoy my daughter's podcast. Is that okay?
Today's supporters shout out, Tia Irvin 6696, quote,
"They loved on me so I can love on them."
End quote. Yes, when you return the love that was given to you. We agree. If you want to be the recipient of a supporter shout out, give us a review on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or IG. The Comedians Care Series. Rodney Perry, Caregiving Full Circle, Giving and Receiving.
Parenting Up family, here we go. It's about to go down. And what? Cut and start. I can do either one because it's my podcast. I can do whatever. Little shoulder action, little shoulder. No, okay. No, this ain't OnlyFans.
Not OnlyFans. Please don't do it with me. I don't want to be a part of it.
I am here with my main guy, Rodney Perry. Okay, I'm about to get emotional and start crying. He's supposed to be telling his story, but we know him from anything and everything: big screen, small screen, social media. What about that Coming to America too, though, man? Yeah. That was sweet. That was nice.
I mean, the
Johnson family reunion, Medea.
Yes.
But go ahead. The reason?
No, I was going to say that. The reason I do stand-up is because of Eddie Murphy, and I got to share the screen with this guy.
Whoa.
So, yeah, it was...
That's heavy.
Pretty amazing couple of weeks.
Yeah. What many people don't know, they know you're the funny guy. They know you can host. They know you can headline.
Yeah.
Do it all. There's a side in your life with care where you have been cared for by family members, and you have then been you carry and the carer.
That's a fact.
And that's what we're going to chat on this episode right here.
You go over me, I feel like you're going to make me cry today. I feel like I'm going to weep. Don't make me weep. Smile, please. I feel it coming. My heart is soft.
Well, soften it up, baby. Just go ahead. We got butter over here for that bread.
All right.
So before we even get to that, I have to let the whole world know that we are in our 5th season. The podcast is global. We're on all the little continents.
Yes, well done.
And my comedy career started and got a huge thrust of energy. It's like a rocket boost because of Mr. Rodney Perry. Wow. Taking your improv class and then you actually answering. Like when I call or text you, everybody don't do that. Everybody at his stage, they not, when somebody is just starting, they say, well, just, send me a DM or call me.
Right.
You DM them for 12 years.
How about that?
They ain't said nothing. They didn't even say stop. They don't even block you. They don't even give you enough.
Block me.
At least block me. That means
Don't
you
block
watched. You watched me one time.
I mean, Jay Smiles.
But this is my guy, though. This is my guy.
Jay Smiles was just dope to me, though.
Thank
like,
you.
your vibe was dope. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I just like everybody. And some people might think that, but I'm really selective with other people that I really bring into my fold. And it was an easy call for you because you was just, your improv was so dope to me. And, you had that thing that says, I'm a comedian. And that was before I ever saw you perform.
You want me to cry? Or you gonna back at you?
You're gonna be weeping.
Wow. Okay. All right, well, that's the end of this episode. Anybody
Wrap it up. Let's get on out of here.
Wrap it up like that.
Let's get on
Rodney
out of here.
Perry said, I'm that fire. Okay.
You know that. Though. You know that.
But your story, I want to start with the caregiving that you all have been providing over the last few years.
Okay.
We talk a bunch in the Parenting Up community about the fact that it is family caregivers that is really holding up the medical system. Because if we all stopped doing what we were doing, stuff would implode. Hospitals would be overrun. The ER would be overrun. The doctors wouldn't even be able to handle it. We don't have enough nurses and doctors to do what my family is doing, what your family is doing. So share with them a little bit about what you and your wife and your kids have had to do to care for people in your family.
We've had to do a few things. First of all, our parents bring us into this world and nurture us and give us those things, those tools we need to live a life, right? And then if you're lucky, you'll get an opportunity to take care of them.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, you'll get an opportunity to take care of your parent. And so I had that opportunity to take care of my mother who she had a condition called COPD.
Yes.
Which is a breathing condition. And I didn't even understand the chronic nature of it when I look back because, it was always the C in COPD is chronic.
Right.
So that means eventually.
You know what? Okay, for real, I'm not even trying to be funny right now.
Yeah.
I'm today years old and my grandmama had it. Well, I thought that the C was chronic. I don't know what the hell I thought it meant. I just knew it was really bad breathing.
Yeah.
But chronic
Oxygen
does,
And they're going to get out of here.
Faster.
Maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean, my mother lived a pretty good life.
Okay.
From a diagnosis till about 7 or 8 more years.
Oh, that is good.
So she had a good decent run.
Yeah. Good run.
It's I'm so easy. I talk about it so lightly now, but man, to watch her kind of deteriorate and provide the care because she stayed with us for a point, and to lose a parent is a whole nother animal.
Right.
Because I remember cleaning up the house and I was cleaning up something, and I came across a bottle of perfume and I had never seen, and I was like, "What is this?" And I opened it up. Let me tell you, I smell it, this little perfume, and it was cried for 6 days.
That's your mama.
It was mama perfume.
Mama in a bottle.
Who put this damn bottle out here? Anyway.
Y'all know y'all could have put that up.
Please, somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah. But we took care of my mom. My uncle stood in the gap for my grandmother.
Okay.
And he actually became her real caregiver in terms of, he started getting a check. Even now, he's still a caregiver with what he learned from the help of my grandmother.
Wow.
So he's still a caregiver for older people.
So he turned it into a career path.
He turned it into a career path because he had no job.
Well, come on now. Okay. We all got
he
that.
He stayed at home so long.
How long was it?
That people start commending him for being there.
Oh.
Like, hey, man, you doing so good with mom. I'm like, that nigga never left. He ain't staying with mama. He's just still here.
And she happens to now be sick.
Yeah.
All right. I know. We got some of those.
So we did that. And now my wife, we're taking care of her mother. and she's dealing with some dementia. You never know what day it's gonna be. She's not gonna. She get up 4 o'clock in the morning, ready for breakfast, because they said breakfast was ready.
They said it.
Who the hell they is? But somebody in her head is like, look, it's time to eat.
Breakfast is ready.
Miss Karen, go lay back down. Please.
Does she believe you when you say lay back down?
She will. She'll do it.
Okay. All right.
But she was drinking so much water, it was making her sick. And
whoa. You got to explain that.
So you can drink too much water. You essentially kind of drowning yourself. So she would drink, and we don't know.
No, we don't.
We don't know. I mean, we just give her some more water. She wants some more water. She make that walk all day, every day. And so she might drink 100 ounces a day.
What?
And it caused her to go into like a shock.
Okay.
And so we had to figure that out.
Well, what did it look like, though? Because, first of all, I ain't never heard of this.
It's her sitting on the floor. She done fell.
Okay.
Because she didn't drink so much water throughout the day. And so
That's crazy.
It was a thing that, and even when she went to the hospital, they didn't know how to curtail it. And so we kind of figured it out now. We just got to keep her in that room. She can't be moving around, walking around all day, or without one of us sitting in the living room, because her room is right off the living room.
It's not funny. I know exactly what you mean. But listen, that's why I have a comedian of your stature here, so that people can understand all around the world.
It's so much nuance, man.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's so much nuance.
And when you're a family caregiver, and you're a family caregiver,
Yeah.
we ain't never been trained. None of us are trained in any of this stuff.
They ain't told me nothing. I ain't read no book. I ain't took a class. I ain't been on YouTube. And I call you.
Yes.
You gave me some insight, dealing with your mom and what. But everybody's different.
Very.
So Marvin Hunter, who's a fabulous comedian, he dealt with he dealt with dementia with his parent, and his mother was really ornery. So my mother-in-law is not ornery. She's still the kind lady.
Okay.
But my wife tell stories about like it's stuff she eat now that she never ate or cooked.
Really?
Yeah, it's like she won't like fried chicken and steak. She's the woman was almost a vegetarian. Like when you start liking this,
you ain't supposed to eat that,
man. It's
but those are the points that I'm so happy you're making, because I don't think the medical system always listens to us, Rodney, as family caregivers. They look at, our loved one, and they're looking at all the little stats and the numbers. And we can say, okay, yeah, the blood pressure's fine, and maybe the cholesterol is okay, but something is off, because my mama is now eating chicken and steak, and she was almost a vegetarian for 30 years. So I'm telling y'all, this ain't right.
Right. And they almost don't believe you sometimes. Like we had, so she goes to the hospital for the water thing, and, of course they start giving her caregivers to come by the house and check on her because they thought we was hurting her. And I'm like, man, ain't nobody hurting this old lady. She thirsty all day.
And why is she thirsty?
We don't know.
Right. I mean,
and
not y'all, but maybe the doctors could know, but they don't know.
They didn't understand why. And so they treating her like she a regular person that don't have something wrong with her. And so it's really interesting to watch, it up close. It's different, and you need your caregiver to stand in the gap, to even if you go to the hospital, just to have an advocate. Because what you don't want to do is go to a hospital and don't nobody, when your ass is asleep, somebody be there. Boy, nigga need to be spent. Spin him.
Right.
I mean, laying on the same ass cheek for 5 days. Somebody spin him.
Okay, parenting up community, for y'all who don't know what a spinning mean is, if your loved one is laying in the hospital too long, and if they can't move, they going to get bed sores, they going to break down, their hip hurt and all of that.
Yes.
So you need to spin him over.
Man,
turn him over.
Spin me.
Spin me. But if your LO doesn't have enough cognitive function to say, hey, you know, my side is hurting. I've been on my left side too long. Put me on my right. I've been on my back too long. Put me on my side. You're right.
And
you got to have an advocate.
Some people just lazy. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's some great care. It's some great medical people in America. You know, we got the best medical system in the world. But at the same time, you could, just like any other job, it could be people that aren't the best.
Yes.
And they could give your loved one substandard care if you're not advocating on their behalf.
24/7.
Yes.
And I don't mind saying this, Piedmont Hospital did not give my mother that premium care, even though
they should have.
We were paying premium prices.
Yes, sir.
At that Piedmont.
Yes.
But because my mother was not complaining or saying anything, her Alzheimer's is advanced enough. They're like, oh, well, Miss Smiles, we put the buzzer on your mom's lap. She don't know what that is. She don't know the difference between the TV remote or the call the nurse button. Right. And why would she know when she needs to call a nurse? She don't even know what's hurting. What are you talking about? I need y'all to go in there like every hour on the hour.
Check on her.
Just look at her. Touch something, poke something, and see how she responds. But they don't always do that.
They don't always do that.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Like, dealing with your mom, like I was thinking recently, like, they must be in bliss. Like, they don't know that they're not bad. Right. They don't know it's bad.
Right.
I mean, you know that she's maybe deteriorating, but does the person with the affliction, Alzheimer's, with the dementia, do they know that they're not what they once were?
Well, first thing is, I don't know.
Which is a great answer. That's a great answer. I damn sure don't.
I damn sure don't know. I will tell you what my advocacy and research and digging has shown me is that it depends on where they are in the spectrum of the Alzheimer's progression.
Okay.
Early on, they know, and they're pissed or sad.
Right, because they're trying to collect those thoughts and they can't.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And why me? And why this happened? And heaven forbid, if they somewhat lived a healthy, air quote, clean life, and they're like, I don't know what the hell happened to my brain. I ain't smoke, I ain't drink, I slept 8 hours a day. What in the world? So there's a little bit of woe is me.
Because they're calling it type 3 diabetes.
A lot of the upper scientists. You better be on it. That's what I'm trying to. Boy, look at you.
I'm trying to understand. I really have been trying to understand.
It ain't just jokes.
Well, you know, I try to be a good advocate.
Yeah, but that is seriously, that is a thing that the research scientists are investigating is dementia, diabetes type 3. Mm-hmm. Now, the practitioners haven't all gotten on board because they don't have enough data and enough research studies, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, just for me and you and for everyone else out there, it is a good rule of thumb that they are believing that, yes, it is a problem with our brain processing the glucose that it needs. Yeah. And when that gets off, there's a problem. So
maybe in the next 20 years, there'll be some medication for it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or they could even tell us what to not do. Because I wonder, like, how we have, like, Alzheimer's is acting a fool right about now.
It is.
50 years ago, it wasn't acting a fool. People just got older and got senile, but they wasn't, this Alzheimer's thing is different.
But it also wasn't as many special need kids either.
True.
We don't know. Because when we was in high school,
we ain't see them.
They was there though.
But they wasn't in our classroom.
They might have been.
Might have been me.
Man, I might have been. I might still be a little slow.
They might be like, Jay, you ain't know because it was.
And you know, this whole thing really concerns me as a stroke survivor.
Yes.
So that's one of the questions I asked my doctor. Like, look, am I predisposed to, you know, because I had a traumatic brain issue? Am I looking at...
Scared the shit out of me, by the way. I got things started popping through, and I was like, this is a joke? And I was like, he ain't even home. How dare you get sick on the road?
I'm in the hospital. I'm going viral.
Going viral. Somebody come up my ass. I'm going viral.
Right, please. Yeah.
Yeah. That was serious. That was, I mean, we were laughing through it, but it was very serious.
Indeed.
It was a point where it was touch and go.
Speaking of parenting up, my brother Ryan Evans, he stood there for me, man. I just ran into a picture the other day that almost made me cry because he was, shaving me, during those times, man. And I'll never forget just him just going, "You're going to beat this. You're going to be all right. Come on, champ. Go through there."
Being a caree, thank you for this segue. Being a caree, such an independent man you are. You served our country. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Navy, 8 years.
Yes. And to know, all right, my body won't do what I tell it to. But I have loved ones. My brother,
what I can't do is wipe my butt right now. My left hand was a little afflicted. I couldn't walk.
Well, who wiped your butt?
I had a lady. So my CNA.
It wasn't your brother.
My brother wouldn't do. He drew
that
the line at the ass. And no, but my CNA was a wonderful wiper. Let me tell you something. This lady would wipe my butt with the precision of a professional. She was so thorough. Like she would have, like right now, my butt is nowhere near as clean as that lady had my butt. She was, but that's also what I had to learn. I had to learn over time to go to the bathroom alone again.
Because for a minute, for a minute you weren't going to the bathroom by yourself.
I need some help.
Need some help.
I had to lean.
Left side, right side.
My hand was flicked. And like even now, I was at the gym yesterday and I was lifting weights and my hand looked a little handy.
Right. A little too handy.
I like my hand.
A little bit like a gravy ladle.
It looked a little. I was like, I gotta get this strong.
Okay.
But it's also the connection between your brain. So my breakthrough came. So my hand is my left hand is flicked. I can talk to it, but it wasn't responding to my brain. And so my occupational care therapist come in with a box, and on each side of the box is mirrors. Mm-hmm. So the idea is you put your broke hand in the box, and you look at your good hand in the mirror.
Okay.
And maybe if you're lucky, you could trick your brain to think that the hand in the mirror that's this hand is really this hand. And that sucker worked.
Are you serious?
It worked immediately that day.
That's like at the county fair with the House of the Mirrors with the
it tricks your brain. And it made me think. I went to my hospital room that afternoon and I masturbated.
Did it work?
It did.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
I mean, I don't know about you. Every time I try, it don't always work. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell? These fingers are
fingers ain't what
trash.
they used to be.
Throwing these fingers away.
Get out of here. Hilarious.
When you were preparing after your stroke, right? We're talking about you being a caree now. And you're like, okay, I'm walking, I'm talking. How do you know, all right, I can get back on the road. I can start performing again. Where is that mental strength that lets you say, all right, they say I can leave the hospital, but can I get back to being Rodney Perry?
Well, I'm having those thoughts before I even leave the hospital.
Okay.
Because I'm processing this, and it's not funny.
No.
It's not funny. I mean, you're literally, I don't know if I'm going to stand again, let alone do stand-up. But part of my therapy was before I left the hospital, I did a set at the hospital for my caregivers.
Are you serious?
My physical therapist, my occupational therapist, my speech therapist, they sat in the room and they watched me perform. And that was part of my therapy. I had a goal to perform before I left. And so that was the beginning of it. I mean, did I know I would be back on the road, flying and stuff again? I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about standing.
I know that's
you know. And what my big adjustment is, of course, I'm like, I've always been super physical. Mm-hmm. And so when I first came back, I didn't have it. I couldn't be as physical. And my long-term memory was damaged. So I could only remember stuff that I had made up in the hospital. Mm. So I had no material.
You owe me money. About
Hold
I think
on,
about
hold on.
12,000. Yeah.
Goodness.
That was before the stroke, though. It happened before the stroke.
Yeah, I lost some of that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But I knew how to tell jokes.
Right.
I just couldn't access any old jokes. And it took me probably about a year to be able to access my older material. Mentally.
Were there techniques that your therapist gave you to access that memory, or did you just have to wait
Not so
for
much
it to unlock?
techniques. Not so much techniques, but he did give me like brain stuff.
Okay.
Like my speech therapist, he would constantly give me like brain teasers and tools to kind of strengthen. And I even do them now. Like I certain games I play on my phone. It's just to sharpen my brain.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of always working on that. Yeah.
What's your favorite one of those, or one of them? Your brain games.
I play dominoes. I'm old.
That's a
I'm
brain
still
game?
old black man. Yeah, absolutely. Counting and winning.
Counting
PlayStation.
and winning. Winning.
Winning is important.
Is a very important part.
I beat my brother while I was in the hospital at Madden.
Really?
And that was a huge breakthrough because he was
That's
so mad.
a lot of. Madden is a lot of going on.
Yeah,
all these
you making in every play.
And clicking and
so
pressing.
Madden helped me with some of my motor skills.
Okay.
And my brain. And I remember I was telling my buddy, I was like, I whoop your ass while I had a stroke.
Shit, he feels like hell, doesn't he?
He should. He should.
I wouldn't have played. Well, he thought he was helping. Well, he did help you.
He did.
He found out he's
horrible.
Yeah. Second is the first loser.
See that?
Ricky Bobby.
That is a fact.
This has been it's for me with you, Rodney. It is personal. What you've shared with me about your family, your life, and what your post-stroke advocacy. I know that you also you speak and you go and you tell your story with honor and with humor, so that others can benefit from it. So I want to commend you for that. And I want to ask you what is something like, particularly maybe with your mother-in-law, that you have found great humor in. Like, I can't believe this lady is, she's this age and she is struggling, but this is still funny and this is still kind of cool, and at least we got this.
Well, this is the thing. So, you just never know what day she gonna wake up on.
Okay.
Sometimes she wake up 20 years ago when she worked at Dillard's.
Okay.
And she be talking to these people. I'm like, Miss Karen, who you talking to? She said, I'm talking to Diane. I said, who is Diane? She's my supervisor at Dillard's. I'm like, well, what you gonna do? I gotta clean up this place. And I ain't gonna lie. Will she be on that cleanup shit? I let her clean up.
Cause she really cleans up. Listen.
She will sweep that motherfucking back porch. My wife be like, you gonna stop making my mother clean up.
Right, and you like, she
wanted
to.
She thought that she was a Dylan stockroom.
Well, because they do say in everything with dementia, you're supposed, it's like role play. You're supposed to let them go, and you're supposed to follow them. So
she's
that's
still
what you
funny
were
though.
doing.
She's still funny. What did she tell me? Like, we was talking, and I said, "Where you about to go, Miss Karen?" She got up, I said, "Where you about to go?" I'm about to roll out like Ludacris. I'm like, "What?
What?
What you know about? What you know about
these streets?
What you know about Ludacris?"
Find out Miss Karen in these streets.
Miss Karen's still funny. She's still.
That's beautiful.
And I dread the day when she begins to really deteriorate.
Right.
But at the end of the day, so I'm the oldest. I think birth order matters too.
Okay.
Like, I'm the oldest, so to care for my mother was nothing for me. My wife is a middle child.
Okay.
And middle children don't really be trying to take care of nobody. But her oldest and her baby is they not stepping up, so she kind of default to the caregiver.
She the second oldest.
She's the second oldest. She's the middle child.
Right.
And so she's a reluctant caregiver, to say the least. My wife is. Yeah. She's like, yo.
What is this? But you went through it already, right?
Yeah. But, you know, I try to tell her, you walk about in my shoes.
Absolutely. This has been such a phenomenal conversation. And you know I'm gonna have you back. I'll give you the topic later. We ain't gonna tell y'all yet. Y'all have to
whatever
wait.
you want to talk about, I'm game.
Before we go, there's one question I end each segment with. It's called a snuggle up.
Okay.
Where the idea is, if a caregiver could just snuggle up to this idea, just kind of go ahead and snuggle up to this idea, just like, ease on into it, baby. Your role as a family caregiver will be easier or less stressful. As a caregiver, as a caree, what this is symbolic of saying we go into the snuggle up.
The snuggle up then, I'm ready.
What would be a snuggle up that comes to mind for you?
Oh, wow. What a great question. I mean, you got to snuggle up to the fact that your loved one isn't doing whatever they're doing deliberately. They're not, is no malice. This is just a part of their life. And it feels like they get it, but they don't.
You better say that.
It feels like they get it, and you can tend to like, I know you fucking heard me. You be like, nigga, they didn't.
They did.
She don't get it at all. She's still at Dillard's. And you got to snuggle up to the idea that wherever they think they are, they are.
And they are not trying to piss you off and ruin your day.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. They probably don't even feel that it's bad.
Right.
We're living the bad part.
Right.
Maybe if it's bad at all.
It's true.
It's our interpretation. And maybe somewhere on a different time plane, everything is okay.
Y'all know comedians could get deep, did you?
You know
My man just did it with Plato, Socrates, Nostradamus on us.
I mean, what if we were all wrong? What if we're the one that's fucked up somewhere?
Absolutely.
Laying there looking out the window.
It's possible.
You never know.
It's possible.
Probably
Anything
not,
is possible.
But,
It's possible. Thank you so much, Rodney. But listen, share with everybody what you have going on currently, what's coming up in the near future, where they can follow you, where they can find you.
Rodney Perry Live on all social media. And I'll be directing my first movie, my first feature film this year. So I'm excited about that. It's a thriller.
Me too. I know I'll have a part, even if it's no speaking, right?
Well, hold on.
No?
I just don't want to lie to you because I picks up my DMs.
Just like that.
I'm not the producer, but I'm definitely directing. But yeah, I mean, you never know. If you ain't busy, we shooting in Raleigh.
Yeah, I ain't busy.
All right, let's
Raleigh, here we come.
Here we come. But so I'm looking forward to that.
It's exciting.
And I've had a pretty lengthy career because I kind of understand how to reinvent myself. So we're always trying to stay connected to the young people.
Love it. I love it. Rodney Perry, everybody. The Snuggle Up. Rodney Perry. You notice I didn't put an S on it because stuff got a little wonky in the studio, so we're going to get one big summary snuggle up for him. This man has been a caregiver and a caree. He cared for his mother. He is assisting his wife with his mother-in-law, and then he was the caree. And through it all, the amount of humor and grace that he used, that's what stands out the most, and that's what I'm hoping everyone can use in their journey as a caregiver. Give yourself grace, give those around you grace, because as you heal and take your medicine and do whatever the doctors say or the experts, stuff can get better. There can be a light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, what's up, y'all? I'm over here just mixing and scratching up stuff. And reminding y'all, Patreon is open. It is open and ready for you, and your mama too. We are loading up things, all things Zeddy, all things podcast, all things caregiving, behind the scenes, extra stuff. J Smiles Comedy is dropping with her own little collection within the J Smiles Studio Patreon very, very soon. It'll be less than a month. But you want to go on and get in there because there's exclusives that's kind of time sensitive to whoever is in there first. We've already had live broadcasts for people who are already in. And I'm going to be honest, because of, branding matters. So there's some stuff that I just can't say and do on the World Wide Web that I can do in the Patreon pantry. So if you want to see and know and hear and experience more of what's happening between my ears, come to the J Smile Studio, my Patreon pantry.